edition. We have one new case of COVID-19 in the province. It is not related to any previous case and is in the Central Health region. A man has been isolating and contact tracing is underway. He came from Alberta. We are also approaching seasonal cold and flu season. So with vaccinations being the buzzword this week and with the launch of flu shot clinics in the eastern region and free flu vaccines now being offered at community pharmacies, but just for many people, just hearing the word needle can make them weak in the knees. So joining us now to talk about the common fear of needles is child psychologist Dr. Janine Hubbard. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Dr. Hubbard.
Always a pleasure.
So, Dr. Hubbard, because we are in a global pandemic, the push to get the seasonal flu vaccine seems to be stronger than ever, but for some people, it's just not that easy and a real fear.
It absolutely can be. So one of the things you want to do is do some mental preparation ahead of time. For some people, it's actually practicing the steps. It's maybe taking an alcohol wipe and remembering, okay, that's what it smells like, that's that cold, that's what that feels like, and kind of walking yourself or your child through the procedure. Biggest thing is knowing your own coping style or that of your child. Are you someone who wants to know every detail and every step that's going to happen before it happens, or are you the tell me when you're done coper? And both are totally valid, but it's knowing a little bit for yourself and preparing yourself and preparing your child. We never want to say, oh, it's not going to hurt. We need to be honest. It's going to hurt briefly. It's going to be uncomfortable, and you might be a little sore afterwards. But reminding them that it will be quick and that they're going to be brave and they're going to get through it.
And speaking of getting through it, so preparing is a great idea. And then once they sit in the chair and it's time, what can they do in that moment to help reduce the anxiety?
Really, three key things: breathing, relaxing your muscle, and working on active distraction. So teaching your kids ahead of time and yourself, reminding yourself, how do I relax my shoulder muscles? Do I become limp and loose and a bit of a wet noodle? What do I do to kind of relax those muscles? Taking a deep breath. Kids sometimes have trouble with that. So what I'll do is ahead of time, get them to practice blowing bubbles into a straw of water, for example. Or you can do this for them. Hold a tissue out in front of them. See how long they can blow that tissue. That helps with that slowing the breath, and then working on active distraction. For some people, it's just having a conversation or getting them to tell a joke or tell about what they did last night or what they ate for breakfast this morning. For others, maybe it's watching a video or getting them to sing a song or watch or listen to some music, anything that kind of helps to distract and get through the procedure.
That's amazing. I'd love to see that tissue trick again. I don't know if we caught it on camera.
Uh-oh.
Just show us that
Here we go.
again.
Okay.
This distraction technique.
The distraction technique. We take a tissue, and here, actually, I'm going to do it sideways so you can properly see. We're going to do this, and we blow and see how long you can keep it up. And because it's visual, kids can then see it, and they're able to actually monitor. Because otherwise, what often happens is I say, well, give me a big breath, and they go, which doesn't have the same effect, as you can see. So lots of cool techniques. Again, even get kids to practice blowing bubbles out on the porch. Make it fun, but really get them used to what is that sensation of the big, deep breath and the relaxing of all those muscles.
That's a great tip for anyone, I think. And we don't have much time left, but needles and the fear of needles, I don't think anyone likes to get a needle, Dr. Hubbard. So why is that? Like, where did the fear of needles come from?
Well, absolutely. Listen. Full disclosure, no, it's not the most pleasant experience, but it is something that happens very quickly, and the discomfort is very short-lived. What happens, though, is because it's something that happens so infrequently, most of us only have 1 or 2 needles a year, we build up in our minds that it's so much worse than it actually is, and that's what escalates that fear. If you needed a needle daily, you would not have that fear of needles, because you suddenly remember, okay, yes, it's briefly unpleasant, but it's not a big deal. So remind yourselves, it's briefly unpleasant, but you're going to get through it, and it really is worth it in the long run.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Hubbard, for joining us today. As always, it was a great learning experience.
Anytime.